And we're live. Yes,
We're
it's
live.
Friday, and it's a better way to do Friday.
Lovely. You. Yes, you. Stop what you're doing. Come and watch this. If you've caught this. No, you. You, if you've caught this, come and watch this. We've got funky beats going on.
Yeah.
Oh, check it out. So I opened the door to the laundry room and I surprised by what I found. My dry beeline.
A better way to do Friday.
Dry as a tail of my.
That's brilliant, isn't it? So tell us about that. What is that?
That is a load of the original beat came from the was from a video someone filmed of their like washing machine making a noise on TikTok, and they said challenge, make that into a beat.
Wow.
So, and then the cello guy who comes next literally pulls up his cello in the video over, and the creaking's happening, and then he goes boom, 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 ba-ba-dum, boom, 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 and then everyone from there is just creating on top of it. Great bit of content.
Lovely. And that's how you do content, folks. Yeah. That's how you should be doing content. Creative.
Look, if anyone's here already, I know we've only just started, but I hope your day is going both funky and fresh. I hope you're having a good Friday. This is, of course, a better way to do Friday.
It certainly is.
Exactly. And, you, if you've just started watching, we're here doing Friday.
Yeah, if you just got it on in the background, if you're just listening to it as well, hi to you as well. You know, what else are you doing whilst this is going on? You know, tell us what whilst you're doing.
If you've got this on in the background, I have been pointing furiously at my camera, and Graham's just done 6 somersaults.
I have. Yeah, I've been juggling with filing cabinets whilst playing Spanish guitar as well. All of those things you've missed as a visual treat, but they have been going on. Now, one sound that would have made a really good sound this morning, and I can see that the sort of aftermath of it out my window this morning, is you remember we sat in the garden having breakfast and there was a mighty, it sounded like an explosion, didn't it?
It did sound a bit like a gunshot. Yeah, it was quite big. Quite big indeed. Huge.
I wish I'd got that on tape, because that could have been the start of something creative.
I wish we still used tape. Would be great.
Yeah.
really modern reference there.
Yeah, I wish I still saved that to my floppy drive.
Oh,
yeah.
Evening from Australia.
Oh, look at that. Wow. Yeah. Evening from Australia. Thanks for tuning in, Susan.
Re-look at that comment later tonight when it's actually the evening over here. I'll load up the comments, scroll through. Yeah. And I'll find my good evening from Australia.
If you manage to find us in the next 10 minutes or so as we're rambling on and talking, and we're going to be covering all sorts of things, social media today, do tag a friend in. Do actually comment with the name of someone else on the platform and get someone else involved as well, because share the love. It's a great way to do Friday. That's all I'm going to say. Now, listen.
If Janice in the office has been down and she needs a pick-me-up, just tag her in this and that will make her feel way better. Way better.
You brought another little bit of music as well, which I just want to tip into as well. And again, this is royalty free, but this is this.
All right, folks, I hope you're enjoying this piece of music, because this intro goes on for ages.
So for those people that might recognise that, that's Paul Anka. It's a really old song, but it really
does have a modern twist.
Good morning. Good morning, Ed. Oh yeah. Drop that.
Yeah, and What
There
we'll
we
do
go.
is if anyone chucks us over a message on LinkedIn, we'd love to see some people make a piece of content this week using that royalty-free track. It's totally licensed, totally royalty-free. So if you are listening to that and think, "Oh, I've got a great idea for what could go with that beat drop," just shoot us a message. We'll send you over the track.
Yeah,
And
nice
then
bit of
make a
video
bit of content.
maybe.
Oh.
Yeah. Whatever.
Beautiful bit of content.
You've been producing some TikTok content this week as well.
I've produced a little bit of TikTok content this week. That is true. I've
Yeah.
made one TikTok, so it's not really that much content, but
not huge, but it's
huge.
still getting
But
there.
did it in my free time. It has had over 200 likes though, so we are really up there on the likes.
Oh, we're massive on the likes there.
LinkedIn could only dream. LinkedIn could only dream of getting that much fun out of their content. Go for it, shoot it over, and I'll do a reel. Oh
That's it. That's what we like.
One on board for the challenge.
A bit of collaboration already happening. Now, I've been in the recording studio with my band this week. So I've bring.
No, you haven't.
Yes,
absolutely not.
Absolutely.
I do your schedule. There is no way you have found time to do that.
Yes, in my spare time, I've been in the recording studio with my band Project Arse, and I've been recording this little number, which is called "Crazy with a Colander."
Really sorry, folks.
Sign from you. You drove
it's real deep.
Yeah, I wish it was a bit deeper. Very down deeper on the internet.
So deep and dark and.
Hello, Katie.
Good morning, Katie. You don't know what you've walked into.
I'm really sorry about
this. This is my new band that I've been.
Look, we've got a couple of people. Here,
if anyone would like an autograph from Project Arse, then that would be great. I'm happy to make sure.
No,
no,
you don't. Right.
No. Let's talk
now
about.
We've got a few people here. Let's just re-go over the premise of the show. You guys feel free to send over questions, comments, things you'd love to hear us talk about. We are here for the duration of the show. We're here for 11 till 12, and then we normally run over a little bit answering all your questions. Last week we did over 80 questions, which seems crazy when you think about it being an hour long, but we did go slightly over. But yes, we are always here to talk about all your things. We've talked about YouTube. We've talked about content creation in general, Instagrams, LinkedIn's, your TikToks, how to get new and interesting content. And I've taken today off and was convinced it was Saturday. So imagine my surprise when I got this notification. Maybe one week we will do a better way to do Friday on Saturday.
Maybe we will. This is why we do the show on the Fridays, just to remind you it is still Friday. Okay, so anybody whose diary's not, or body clock's just not working properly this week, it is Friday today. You still have a day of work to do. Sorry about that.
Well, not
but don't worry.
Suzanne, it's the evening. Already done. Already done.
Already done then. How much coffee have I had today? Absolutely none. I don't drink coffee. No, absolutely none. This is tea.
I've got an empty glass.
Yeah.
So,
campaigns. It's Disability Pride Month. Absolutely.
Oh, it is Disability Pride Month, of course. Following on from normal Pride Month.
Let's ring the bell for Disability Pride Month.
Ding ding.
Jodie, thank you very much. Perhaps you'll put some comments in the comments about Disability Pride Month, what we should be doing, what we should be talking about on social media in order to help that. Are there any hashtags, for example, that people should be using in order to, find content that's already there on that, or put content out? That shirt, do not adjust your set. Absolutely.
Thank you, Richard. My shirt took a lot of effort. It took a lot of time. Thank you for complimenting that. Obviously, he's talking about me. No,
I think he's talking about mine, which is from the Danny DeVito collection from MASH. Yes. So that's lovely.
Oh, yes.
So what else? Any other comments? Yeah, just to say, Katie Hall, good morning. You can't pour from an empty glass. No, you can't. So social media this week, we're all going to play a game in a minute, by the way, because one of the things I want to talk about this week is clickbait. an essential part of some social media, you would say.
Especially on LinkedIn, it seems.
Absolutely ridiculous on LinkedIn, isn't it?
There is a reason because of that. It's because of the format that most people write in. But
Yep.
you know, you need a bit of clickbait to how clickbait was really big on YouTube and still is in a way. It's got a big lots of people do clickbait on YouTube, and that's to try and get you to sit through a 10-minute video. Well, I feel like the people are doing the same thing on LinkedIn because they're trying to get you to sit through a 20-minute post. My shirt is better. You see? I'm winning.
There you go. Well done. Yeah, thank you very much. If people keep voting for Addison's shirt, my shirt will be coming off. And you really don't want to see that. So vote for my shirt. Oh, there we go. Jodie's put a load of, I'm going to share that on the screen so that people can see that. Those are all of the hashtags that you need to use if you are doing Disability Pride Month.
Now, Jodie's talked about camel casing, which is, I think, where we should properly start talking about things. As you know, hey, it is purple. I'll talk about the shirt first, very quickly. This is the T-shirt tour shirt from when I was at uni. My first week at uni, they did these lovely purple T-shirt tour shirts, which me and my friend did not go to, but we picked up shirts from the student union afterwards, and then everyone just thought we were there. So it was really great time. We pretended we were on T-shirt tour for 3 years when we didn't go. Anyway, back to the People Smart inclusion stuff. I really want to talk about camel casing as our first proper subject that we get into. We're only 10 minutes in, so making really good time on talking about things. Now, I wanted to talk about why LinkedIn doesn't have camel casing in their hashtags normally by default. So everyone that uses hashtags on LinkedIn will know that when you are typing a hashtag, there are suggested hashtags that come up that also help you to find things that other people are talking about and what's trending hashtag wise. Now, none of them on LinkedIn have camel casing whatsoever. And I cannot work out why, and there's no advantage to that being the case. And actually, if LinkedIn had camel casing there, then almost everyone would use it because you just click on it and it would do what the devil is camel casing.
Well, the camel casing is what we had as an example there from Jodie. So if we bring that, it's still there up on the screen. So the start of each word within the hashtag needs to be in a capital, and then the rest of the word in lowercase. It's so a screen reader, when someone is using a screen reader in order to be able to pick up the hashtags, reads it. Otherwise, it sees it as sort of a conglomerated mess.
Yeah, I'll do my...
It means the first letter of every word is a capital letter. As simple as that. It's just from an accessibility point of view. If you want people that are using a screen reader to be able to read your hashtags, they can't unless they're camel case.
Yeah, and I'd like to chime in here and say I actually read a really interesting study this week. Look at me, always reading random studies that aren't really important. That said that more CEOs and more business leaders are actually using screen readers because they don't read their social media. What they'll do is they'll have a constant feed whilst they're working, just read in their ear of what's going on their socials or platforms if they're catching up with what's going on. So they're not...
It's the same thing again. So it's not even a disability thing, right?
No.
It's actually something that will actually catch the eyes of CEOs, etc. If you're there you go. You see, you're missing out. Light bulb moment. You're absolutely right, Richard. Light bulb moment.
And how much better your content is going to be using camel casing, how much of a bigger audience that can get is amazing. But we are talking about the elephant in the room, which is why LinkedIn as a platform hasn't helped to implement it. And do you know what? It's really disappointing because Disability Pride Month would have been a great time to see that feature added and to see camel casing used as the standard, because I think almost everyone would use it if it was just a default option, because I don't think any of us really normally get to the end of the hashtag we're writing. You normally just click on the thing when you get about halfway through, right?
Yeah.
So
Did you see that one from Jody? Look at the. It's avoided some funny misunderstandings too.
Nice.
Yeah, just look at that. I'm not going to say it out on air, but you can all read, hopefully. But that's one that you know.
I will. Susan Album.
Don't want to be taking the hump. There you are. Thanks, Richard. Oh, glad you've turned around. No pigeons at the moment. For anyone that doesn't know, Richard likes to know how many pigeons are outside, but no pigeons.
I'm higher up than you. So
You're higher up, so you might be able to see any pigeons.
Oh, wow, there's like 6,000 pigeons up just above your window.
Oh,
Just
there you
out
go.
of eyesight.
Well, now listen, you railroaded me a little bit there because I was going to talk about clickbait, and of course, you know, we started talking about it, and then and you did. That's all right. It's fine. I'll let you off. But we are now going to talk about clickbait, and it goes on a lot on social media, but particularly LinkedIn. Okay, people using clickbait at the top of their posts. Now, if you don't know what clickbait is, it's basically that first line of a post, something to draw you in, make you think, oh, this is exciting. And what you'll see a lot of on LinkedIn as well is people then leaving a slightly longer gap after that clickbait line so that you can't see that.
Really
I know, right? You're going to talk about this now quickly. Go on.
It really annoys me. Really don't like how short LinkedIn's little spaces before you have to expand to see the rest of the message.
Awful,
and how many people just duck their rest of their post beneath that see more. And do you know what? Because people write in such long format on LinkedIn, it's literally like someone writes a clickbait title and then the rest of it is see more. And as soon as you click see more, my whole screen gone. I'm scrolling for about 4 minutes to get to the end of their post. There's no way I'm going to read that. I just wanted to find out what happened in the clickbait title, which I find out after clicking expand more. I've got no interest in reading the rest of their post. And now it's gone.
Look what Emma says. Emma says, I hate those empty spaces.
Yes.
Absolutely. Why don't
the empty spaces?
Yes, I was going to do a post on it. Yeah, stop doing this.
Yeah.
At the moment,
Down with the empty spaces.
If you see some of my posts, what I'm doing actually, Emma, is I'm actually picking up some of the best clickbait from the morning, and then I'm just posting it as clickbait and outing it as clickbait. So yeah, have a look at my post. Maybe more, if more of us do it, if more of us find other people's clickbait and out it, that would be great. Stop doing it. Stop doing it.
I don't mind your title. One space and then your thing, that's fine, but LinkedIn also needs to change their box from 3 to 4 lines long, because that would stop loads of people doing it. Because right, if you do 2 lines, that could be, oh, I just wanted to leave adequate space. But if you leave 3 lines, that's you're definitely clickbaiting me.
Now, whilst we've got lots of nice people here, let's all have a little vote. These are 5 of the best clickbait lines that I have found from LinkedIn in the past couple of days. Okay, so you can all vote on this. If you've got a smartphone, you can all take part in this. All you've got to do is go to vvox.app in your browser on your phone. So just type that in on your smartphone, vvox.app in your browser, your internet browser. I'm sure you're all using Internet Explorer, aren't you? Because you're all savvy, you know, whippersnappers.
They're using Chrome because they're savvy. They're not using it. Please
no,
do not use Internet Explorer.
Internet Explorer, because it's you know, the height of fashion.
You,
and then
if the hipsters out there using your internet, your Microsoft Edges, stop it.
And then you can put in your ID, which is 123-560-082, and that will allow you to vote. So let's all do this together. We can vote on one of these. I'm going to read them.
Whilst people are voting after that, we'll go through some more of your comments that you've been making about clickbait.
Okay, fine. So here we go. Which of these clickbait lines is the best of the week? Gary Vee is annoying AF. Kim Kardashian is talentless. Stephen Bartlett is a fraud. And Elon Musk is a scam artist. Why wouldn't you want to know more about that one? I've got taken to an old quarry by someone I barely knew. Is it naked in here or is it just Lincoln's face? Interesting one. Time to whip out this carousel again. Stick me down for 25k this month. Which of those is the best clickbait line of this week? I'm going to have a vote myself.
Apart from the top one, all of them sound like they could be categories on whose line is it anyway when they have to.
They
improvise.
really do. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go to Vvox.app. You carry on talking because I'm going to
talk about Emma's point. The algorithm will pick up on the fact that people don't like it. Absolutely not at the moment. You're giving LinkedIn's algorithm a little bit too much credit, I think. But also, do you know the amount of people on LinkedIn that fall for this and like the post anyway and don't? If there's a behavior you don't want to see keeping happening on LinkedIn, no matter how good the post is that has clickbait in it, please do not like it. Please do not go and use that piece of content because otherwise people are just going to keep doing it.
I've just realised.
I've just realised these results.
Yeah, well, I've just realised that for some reason I've got to rerun it.
Oh, I tell you what, we've got people in the comments here. They could
stop poll. I'm gonna do it. Rerun it.
Hello,
okay.
Stephen.
Let's try again. Right, it should work this time. I love it when technology. There we are. You should be able to vote now. Great.
Nice.
Oh, there we go.
Then I was guilty of this. Then I noticed how annoying it was. So now I only do it if I'm in a devil mood. Hey, sometimes you're just in a devil mood. You know, it's all good. That happens, and no one's going to blame you for just the odd bit of clickbait. But it's just don't do it all the time. You're all right. You closed the poll too early.
Yeah, I've reopened it.
It's back open now.
It's back open. It was closed, but it's back open. So please do go on to vvox.app. There's the ID 123 560 082. I'll just let people carry on voting on that for a minute or two.
Yeah.
Whilst we carry on talking.
Stephen's here now. Hi, Stephen. We had a great recording session with Stephen earlier on in the week, didn't we? Actually, recording something we're very excited about. Season 2 of WoW Ergonomics. If you don't know what that is, it's one of our other shows that we do. We've recorded that. We've got a brand new format that's very high energy, very fun. It's not like anything you've seen before on LinkedIn. It's just businessy enough to actually be useful whilst not being boring. So come check out WoW Ergonomics whenever that launches. We'd be really excited to see some of you over there. It's been really fun working on the new season already. So I just have enjoyed that.
That's great. And so listen, we're just going to quickly whiz on over to the results there. We have 80% of you have said I've got taken to an old quarry by someone I barely knew, and that is Rachel Woods. There you go. So check out Rachel Woods on LinkedIn. Fantastic post, actually. Really quite. It's actually
that would be the one that I would have said as well.
I actually think that took some thought, really, to think of that one. It wasn't just quickly picking it out of the air like some of them. So, if you do try your own clickbait during the week, be assured that we will pick it up and it will be part of the vote for another week. So there we go. Right, let's close that.
I think the Gary V one is just very Twittery. That would do great,
isn't it?
Twitter, right?
Yeah, I mean
someone going, I don't like all those people either.
Well, it's what's great about that though is they're kind of name checking at the same time as putting people down, and that's quite clever, isn't it? You know, it's like I'm a fay with all of these people. I know all of these people are big influencers, but actually, you know, I don't particularly like them.
Hey, look. So now we've talked about clickbait. We have talked about some empty spacing, which really dislike. I'm really happy we've gotten to talk about the camel casing and Disability Pride Month. And now we're just going to wait for other people to comment what they want to talk about. We'd love to know what questions and what things you'd like to learn about social media today. What things can we help you with? Yeah. Until then, we'll just go on as usual.
We will, but you know, if you do want to throw, there you go. I'll just answer that. Whilst anybody else, if you've got any questions about social media, not the shirts,
Well, the
Uh,
shirts as well. We will talk about shirts.
Yeah, where is the shirt from? It's actually from TK Maxx. There you go. It's from TK Maxx. It's from their I'm pretending that I'm young, but I'm not collection. Which
I've
is
got to get me one of those.
it's very, very popular. Yeah. Um
And mine's an actual young person shirt, so
yeah, yeah. So it's there's a special rail for people that are our age, Stephen, in TK Maxx. It's kind of come over here. It's in a dark, closeted corner of TK Maxx, so that we can buy without looking stupid. You'll find it. It's towards the exit, so you can make a quick exit as well. There we go. So that's that.
do you know what I'd love to? Since nobody's put anything forwards at the moment. Obviously, we'll break if someone does, but I'd love to talk about the lack of, I think, LinkedIn's lack of, and people on LinkedIn as well, their lack of
I've got those.
keeping up with what's current on the rest of the internet or just culture in general. Do you know what I mean? Like LinkedIn seems to somehow most of the content seems to just be in this sort of time bubble. Like it doesn't acknowledge anything going on in the outside world a lot of the time, unless it's politics or something like that. But a lot of like cultural reference points are just not. They don't penetrate LinkedIn. They don't come in. Do you know what? I open my Instagram and my Twitter, and I open my Facebook even, because that still exists. And even my Snapchat, I see things on people's stories. And do you know what? Most of what I'm seeing at the moment is Stranger Things. I'm seeing The Boys. I'm seeing literally loads of like current cultural reference points that loads of people are going. Love Island, that's a big one. Seeing loads of businesses, talking about Love Island as a way to advertise. And then I come onto LinkedIn and everyone's like, Bozu.
And then you come onto LinkedIn and people
LinkedIn. Yeah.
I think there are some there, but I think you're right. And I think also, do you get a little bit annoyed as well that a load of people on LinkedIn suddenly try and look cool and do the other platforms? I went to a network meeting yesterday, and there was a chap there who's doing TikTok at the moment. He was giving advice on the fact that he's growing his TikTok. Okay, but basically all he's doing is doing little talks to camera on TikTok every day, just regularly doing it. And he said, yeah, I seem to be getting, growing a little following. And I said, yeah, I'm not surprised, mate, because you're fit as, and you've got a nice tan and a nice face, right? But apart from that, whether it's actually going to relate back and do anything for his business, who knows? I don't know.
Who knows? Whilst Love Island, I really hope that is an ironic question. It might not be. If it is not, just drop one more comment and I will actually explain what Love Island is. If it is a joke, you got me. You hit me dead on. So, yeah, I'm happy to explain what Love Island actually is.
No, I think Richard. Richard is au fait with what Love Island is. I'm sure there's plenty of people on LinkedIn that probably don't know what Love Island is.
There's no shame, because lots of people on LinkedIn clearly do not understand that's what's so. It's kind of refreshing in a way.
Nice of you to say that about me. Yeah. Yeah. Well, nice face. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it's nice to it's refreshing in a way to come on LinkedIn, but it sort of feels very weird that there's most of the internet and what grows on the internet is people who are having this kind of sword fighting match of oh, okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But they're having this kind of sword fighting match of kind of going back and forth with different cultural references and different things that they know about that are like shared experiences to loads of people. And that doesn't happen on LinkedIn. It's always like people are trying to really be themselves, but in a very businessy way.
Making a reference to LinkedIn on LinkedIn, this is embarrassing as a geography teacher going to a sixth form disco. It really is. Yeah. It really is. I mean, actually, what we're doing here, openly talking and sometimes criticizing LinkedIn, is, you know,
look, if you don't come here on Friday to watch me at least occasionally criticize LinkedIn, this probably isn't the bit of content for you. That is something that I do fairly regularly, but only because we love it and we want to see it become a better platform. And the only way it can do that is with a bit of tough love.
Yeah.
Right. Let's jump onto the selfies thing.
Yes.
Seen loads on LinkedIn this week about selfies. What's all that about? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, what are people's thoughts on that? Let's go with our thoughts on that.
All right.
As a mechanism, it's a really straightforward mechanism. Drop a selfie, don't put too much comment in, or don't put too much text in the actual post itself. Just draw attention to the aesthetic. Try and create some kind of emotion using the selfie itself, whether it's lust or whether it's I mean, I'm going to be honest about it. Some people are, you know, trying to do that, or whether it's like, you know, emotive, you know, looking slightly sad or whatever. You know, those things do resonate. They do work.
I also thought this, but I thought I'd let Graham carry on anyway because it was funny. LI, Love Island.
Yeah.
Not LinkedIn. Hey, don't talk about LinkedIn on LinkedIn either, unless you're criticizing it. But yeah, LI for Love Island.
Okay, so what's your take? What's your take on the selfies?
What's my take on the selfies? Look, I felt like originally when I started seeing a lot of them at the start of the week, it felt like LinkedIn had just discovered that selfies were a thing. But I'm sure that wasn't the case because people definitely know what selfies are. I've been a way bigger fan of the shorter content that we've had. And get off your phone. Stop taking a selfie. Stop it. We're trying to do a serious show here. This is very... Stop it. All right. Okay, fine. Look, I've been a big fan of the shorter content because we spoke last week about my feelings on how long LinkedIn's content is in general. And I have actually seen a massive change in how short the posts are that I've seen in general this week, with a few exceptions that are very long. So big congrats to everyone on LinkedIn for shortening up your posts a little bit. And, you know, you can keep your selfies if you want. I don't mind them. I just think it's loads of people looking for visual content that don't have any ideas, right? That's my main theory.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw another theory on this. It's partly to do with the weather. Yes. All right. The weather means people are out and about a little bit more. They can go outside, etc. You know, you actually look better photograph wise on a lot of phones if you're outside. That, you know, the camera actually takes a slightly better photo. That it's more difficult under artificial light to take a photo. So once people start going outside, and they might be going to interesting places as well because of the weather. Snap your little selfie, put it out there, and also because you're out and about, and that is a case as well. I have seen a lot more people saying, "Oh, yeah, I've actually been out to this or I've been out to that as well." So therefore, they probably haven't got the time to write so much stuff, so they're snapping a selfie. That's why you're seeing an increase in it.
But look, I don't think the quality of the writing that I've read this week has been lower. In fact, I would say I have read more posts this week than any other week because the length seems to have been shorter than most weeks. And that means that I can actually engage with your post and read it fully without getting distracted and going off and doing something else.
So maybe we just need more nice weather.
Nice weather might be the solution. Now, here's an interesting topic, and I don't think you would have been expecting this. So here's a question. Now we're getting more selfies and stuff. How long do you think it is before we get loads of topless men and scantily clad female people on the platform taking selfies and gaining views. And what would be your opinion on that if that was the case and that did happen?
Well, it has already happened. So
I
it's
don't
not as
see
though
I don't see that much of it. At the
it's
moment.
not as though it's not as though it hasn't
not like
happened in the
TikTok.
past. The thing is that people will get a lot of abuse. So it's difficult, and I don't want to go down the dark alley of talking about sort of, you know, whether it's kind of right or wrong in terms of, you know, whether you show that stuff or not. But yeah, do we think it's gonna? Do we think that we'll have an increase in that? I think, yeah, it's interesting because it has always been kind of policed by the LinkedIn police. And a lot of those people have been reported and then have, you know, temporarily lost their account. So it would be interesting to see whether people start to try and bring it back.
Yeah, I think. Look, I think,
love that comment from Katie. Stephen, how is that for a selfie or a post? When he commented, "Less is more." Then Edison Code.
Look, I think at the end of the day, I don't think that sort of thing needs to be on LinkedIn particularly. And so if LinkedIn just do the right thing, they keep their you know, terms and conditions really tight, and they have a strict standard for what they allow, that'll be fine. Less is more, totally, Stephen. We've that's part of the big changes that we've done to WoW Ergonomics. We're going down from 1 hour shows to like 10-minute episodes that are way faster. It's partly just to do with rate of content consumption and how people like their content formatted. And the only reason we do this show live and it's really long format is because we like engaging with all of you and actually getting to talk to you and talk about your questions with you live.
Yeah.
You know, so we hope you enjoy this experience as well, where you get to actually interact with us.
Absolutely. I'd be really interested to know, in terms of long form content now on LinkedIn, what are people actually absorbing now? Is anybody reading newsletters out there when people are making these newsletters and flinging them at you? Is anybody actually reading articles? Or how often during the week do you read an article? Just want to know, in terms of that kind of output that's still there, you know, people are writing that stuff. Are you reading it on LinkedIn? Or, you know, if it's blog type content, are you just looking for that actually on people's websites? You're not actually coming to LinkedIn at all for it. What could disappear from LinkedIn and you wouldn't miss it tomorrow?
Really long form posts.
Yeah. You know,
really long form posts.
Yeah. People that are literally maxing it out to the maximum amount of characters.
Getting really there. I mean, look, I saw a post. I think I screenshotted it, so I can always send it over to you later. But I saw a post that got, I think, over 40,000 likes and reactions, and it had one line of text, and looked way more like a traditional Facebook or Instagram post.
Yeah.
And that did very well. It does seem like things are shifting on LinkedIn at the moment. We've kind of,
definitely,
you know, it's a really exciting time to be on the platform and it feels like this might be one of the last platforms where you can actually come, and it's not defined what the future of the content on the platform will be. So if you want to come and be a part of the future of the content on LinkedIn and what that looks like, you know, LinkedIn's the place to be. We can really make something here.
Let's just cover some of these comments.
That everyone enjoys.
Note. Top line of a post, bottom line, look at the comments. You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Get to the crux. And then it's basically look at the engagement. What are people actually saying about it? And then maybe if the engagement's good and the comments are good, you might dive back into it if you think there's something you've missed. So you skim it in the first.
People even do that, really. I'm going to say with M's comment, I actually do whatever content they've got, whatever media they've got. So photo, video, whatever. First, title.
That first.
And then I won't normally make it to the end line. I don't even bother with that. To be fair, genuinely, I probably won't read it if it's not got good content visually on it. And I think if it's good visual content, then I won't need to read it, so I don't read it normally. Obviously,
that
I
from
spend
Katie.
some time trying to.
Yeah,
But
don't read an article. I actually prefer to listen to something like this. I think
yeah,
the fact that lives are beginning to now actually get a little bit more traction, and some of the audio events are beginning to get a little bit more traction. I'm sure we're going to see that's where things are going to go. People can,
what would
because you
you
can carry
prefer?
on working. You can
Yeah.
carry on working.
What would you prefer? Something which we would like to coin and talk about as second wave content, something that sits underneath whatever you're doing, which is what a show like this is, or would you prefer having to actively engage and read in something that is giving you probably less information per minute than just you sitting and having this nice conversation? And here you get all the nice feelings of actually listening to someone talk and feeling like you can engage with them. So much different talking to someone, and there's a lot of science behind why this is a nicer format than that. And actually, people's processing speed is so fast nowadays with how far we've pushed it by using social media and stuff like that, that shortens attention spans. But one of the ways to lengthen your attention span if you're struggling to pay attention at work or anything is to have second generation content, which is stuff like this, which is designed to sit underneath whatever you're doing. Make sure you're having a great time. You can pop in and look at us if you want to. Exactly. You can engage when it's relevant. You can just listen along. Sometimes it might even, you're not even taking in what we're saying. You're just hoping subconsciously it bleeds in. It doesn't matter to us. We're just hoping that this content is good to you and that you're enjoying it. And that's all
I
that matters.
love that from Katie. I've taken away more from this and more connections from this than reading a post. Boom. There you
Exactly.
go. You know, we just all should be sharing more content that's like this. Okay.
Exactly.
It's just, you know, making it relevant, making it, having a point. You know, we're here to talk about social media. I mean, we have a little bit of a laugh at the beginning, but we're not here to talk about randomly about, you know, everything. We bring a space so that we can bring our expertise to you, and you can share and your expertise as well. And it's communal, it's diplomatic, it feels good.
And we make sure everyone gets addressed. No one is ever left out on a Better Way to Do Friday. If you make a comment and you've got a question, we always answer it. That's why we go over time most of the time, is because we hate to ignore people's questions. We want to get through all of them. I did an experiment a few weeks back. Same content posted on LinkedIn at the same time, one as an article, one as a video. Video initially outperformed article more than 10-1. In long run, article catches up, tortoise and hare.
Yes. Interesting. Yep.
But you could get all those initial views from the video, and then you could just post another video and capture a whole new set of people. I would like to know whether your article just sat there and then you kept posting things on top of the article, or the article sat relatively near the top of whatever you have posted it on, because that will really affect how that works.
Yeah. And was there something in the article that wasn't in the video? So, you know, was there something to explore in the article? Because it might have been that some people from the video trickled over into the article. So it'd be interesting to know the full dynamics of that.
Yeah, and my final thing would be to get that article up. Did you feel like you had to, once the article was up and the video outperformed it? So that video initially, what I'm imagining is you launched that and then it got all that initial reactions and then nothing really happened after that. And then your article, what happened was it went up and it got a couple of reactions and a couple of people commented, and then you had to do engagement underneath where you talk loads in the comments and stuff and that raised it up in the algorithm over time. So I'd be interested to know if that's what happened or something else happened, because, you know, anything can happen really. This is a fun end of the week when not working Friday night. Learn lots and have a laugh. Look, that's all we want. We want to just have a laugh, nice friendly chat about learning things that you might want to know about social media.
Now, before I forget, we've got to just mention that next week we won't be on at 11. We will be on at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. There's a reason for that. I'm going on a hot date with Addie's mum. So
Okay.
yeah, no, just I'm
It's a
just
weird
telling
way
you.
of phrasing that.
It's well, that's what your mum said that I needed to phrase it as. So
Okay.
that's why it won't be here at 11. We might put a little trailer in at 11 o'clock, just in case you forget, just to remind you that we'll
Hey,
actually not be on at 11, but be at
those
3.
of you that regularly watch the show, and we have got quite a few regulars here, know that I get no forward or planning on anything that happens on this show. We just turn up and have a bit of fun. Maybe next Friday at 11, I'll post a piece of content that Graham has no idea what's going on with, and I'll just post it my own free will. So I'll make something, and you can all come along at 11, and then we'll talk about it whenever Graham gets back on. It'll be Friday in the evening next week, right?
It will be 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, 3 o'clock.
British summertime, and I can't work that out for all of the different time zones, but I'm sure you can Google it these days and it works it out for
Yeah.
you.
Look at that. Left it at the top, no new articles. It wasn't rigorous science. Exactly, right? So if you had just done the video and then you did another video on top, that initial wave of engagement you got would have been enough, because then your next video would have got another wave of engagement. Whereas that article probably would have just got buried if it wasn't left at the top. So really, but it's cool that you did that. It's lovely. Do you know the amount of times I see people on LinkedIn experimenting, and you don't see that on other platforms? People are still trying to work out what this new wave of content that seems to be happening, what works, what doesn't work, and it's really interesting to watch. So I am enjoying that.
Well, and actually, what you say there is true, but actually, there's a whole load of people that don't experiment at all. And why? Why not? I mean, it's a really good idea to experiment with your content, especially if you're starting out and you're not sure what's actually going to land with different people. Experiment, try different things. What Richard's saying there is he tried 2 different formats. He put them out at the same time, wanted to see what the audience response was to that. That's really valuable insight. And you've got to keep doing these things. You've got to keep trying different things and seeing whether they work. Look at what other people are doing that is working and try and work out why it's working. Now, it might not be that it works for you, because it might not bring you business, but try and work out what it is that is working about that. And of course, if you can't be bothered to do all of that and you actually just want to pay someone else to do it, that's what we're here for. And you can just come to us and we'll do it all for you. But
Exactly.
if you're going to do it yourself, do all of the experimentation.
And also, look, if you've got questions, come and ask them here. This is a totally free, open space for you to come and ask questions on A Better Way to Do Friday, to try and work out what's going on LinkedIn at the moment, because it's totally nuts. It's all nuts. Okay.
How long do you think it will be before we see the next main change in LinkedIn? I'm asking that of Addy, but I'm also asking that of anyone that's watching at the moment.
I think the next big change, like a big change, whenever they decide to switch up the algorithm. There's so many things that don't favor video content at the moment. Like there's supporting systems that aren't in place. So I think that will be a big change.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think one of them's going to be around the audio rooms. I mean, that's in beta at the moment. So if you haven't got an audio room at the moment, if you can't do audio events, don't worry about that. It's not because LinkedIn hates you. It's just that LinkedIn hates you. No, it's
I
actually.
think it will be the next big changes will either be something to do with like hosting podcasts or something on LinkedIn.
Yep.
Or I think it will be something to do with. I honestly think a really big change that they don't even realize would be such a big change is just captioning on videos and having an automatic captioning software. I genuinely think that will be a really big change, and it will help them play with the big boys in terms of video content, which they're not doing at the moment.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see all of the inclusion stuff happening, as we talked about earlier, the camel case. If that happened automatically, as opposed to having to change it all every time, that would be good. Captioning on video would be great as an option in there. alt text, just actually providing instant alt text that actually was okay as opposed to rubbish.
Yeah.
That would be good. For people that don't understand that, when you put up an image, you'll see on a lot of our content, for example, if we put up an image, we actually put a description of that image as well. Again, it's so that a screen reader can actually see that and know what the image is that is being referred to. All of that, I reckon, will happen because it's Microsoft. It should do, and hopefully I haven't rained on anyone's parade there by telling them Microsoft actually own LinkedIn. But it's all of that will happen. But I'm sure that, you're right. I think it makes sense for a podcasting thing to happen because how much content
many people do business in podcasting. I honestly think the change we might see, or the move that we might see Microsoft make, although this is a pretty bold prediction and pretty bold move from Microsoft if they did make it, would be a merger between their streaming platform that they own and LinkedIn into one service, or to use the same fundamental service for both streaming on LinkedIn and streaming on. I think they own Mixer. I think that's the one that Microsoft own.
Do you know what?
I think that's what they do.
They do, yeah. I believe it is. You have a look at that. The other one that I don't understand why it's not there. This is a really simple one. You can't at the moment create things like slide decks and things like that. Okay, without doing it as saving it as a PDF and then uploading it from your phone, right? Why do things like
That'll
PowerPoint?
be a really massive change if they change how basically reactionary you can be with your content. So every other platform, even YouTube, although YouTube don't favor it, and that's for a really good reason because they want high quality content. But every other platform just encourages you to take the content on the spot and create that content there and then, and has tools built in to help you do that. LinkedIn doesn't have an inbuilt editing studio for anything, for photos, for videos. Like most platforms, I could take a video on my phone and actually record it in the app. Like on Instagram, I can make that video on my phone using the tools the app gives me. The same with photo editing. Instagram's photo editing is the best out of the social media platforms for like me taking a photo and then having so many options with what to do with that. LinkedIn doesn't have any options whatsoever. It will be whatever's inbuilt to your phone is what LinkedIn uses, which is not good, right? How much better would it be, all these selfies that are happening, how much better would that be if you had an option of like really great color palettes and stuff to play around with that and make it look great? And to actually be able to edit little things and add text to your images, that would be so much better than what we've got at the moment. That would make a massive change to LinkedIn.
If I was Microsoft, sorry Canva, but if I was Microsoft, and I looked at the amount of posts where people go, yeah, and I create everything on Canva, I'd be going, I could just create Canva within the LinkedIn platform.
Just buy Canva. Do you know how much?
Or just buy Canva. Yeah, I'll just buy Canva. We integrate it into LinkedIn. And I mean, I suppose there's a point where, and LinkedIn struggles with this. There is a paid for version of LinkedIn, and I have said this before. The paid for version of LinkedIn, which is predominantly to do with business tools around trying to find contacts and things, and almost like a CRM type system with Navigator, etc. That's a business tool, but it's not. There isn't a set of business tools there that are around creation of content. And if you're going to do a paid for, if I was going to pay X amount a month,
LinkedIn Studio needs to be a thing, right?
LinkedIn Studio ought to be a thing. Yeah.
I was sat there thinking about, since we started talking about this, whether I was going to talk about something that I think is really important for LinkedIn if it wants to grow really big, but I think is slightly controversial. I'm going to talk about it. I've decided I am going to talk about it. So I would love to know people's thoughts and feelings about this in the comments, because it would be a big shift from what we've got at the moment, right? So think about every other major social media platform, and then think about LinkedIn, and what is the main difference between every other social media platform and LinkedIn? It's that they don't monetize influencers. Okay, so that's the reason you don't have loads of awesome content creators on the app. The reason that loads of people aren't spending their time and effort making creative content in LinkedIn, and why there's almost no major influencers on the platform that actually just make creative content for fun, is because there's no. Every other platform does it. There's no monetization of views and stuff, which comes directly from the company, right?
Hmm.
Yes, you would have to have adverts on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is already a giant advert. I do not understand why that would make any difference. Everyone on here is a business already. Okay. In fact, I'm sure a ton of businesses would love to advertise on LinkedIn, but yeah, right. So on TikTok, I know the AdSense isn't great on TikTok, but loads of people make tons of creative content on TikTok. Reason they do that is because they're paid from TikTok. So their motivation is just to make good content that you enjoy, because they're being paid from the company. Same on YouTube. Loads of YouTubers are being paid by YouTube with AdSense, which means that their only motivation is to make good content. On LinkedIn, you cannot earn money directly by making good content. So your motivation is now not making good content. Your motivation is making content that helps you sell whatever it is you sell,
Correct. Yeah.
which is not, it doesn't always equate to good content, because how can you feel completely creatively free to try and express yourself however you want and create a really great piece of content when in the back of your mind you're thinking, oh, but how does this link into my product, and how do I actually get money from this?
Or even if you're paying people to make
Hmm.
that content for you, it means that there are a huge amount of gatekeepers in terms of that content.
Yes.
Yes. So, you've got to go through that whole stakeholder process
Hmm.
of where this is being made effectively to promote a brand or a business or whatever, and does it work? And then it may not continue as a piece of content, even though lots of people might like it, because if it's not
Doing
doing
the job.
perceivably what that company want it to do, it might be getting lots and lots of love, but if it's not bringing them dollars, then it's not working. So
Yeah. So
it does restrict the creativity.
I was thinking about it for a minute about talking about it, because I think it is slightly controversial, but I've decided this is the hill that I would like to die on. So if anyone would like to comment and tell me why this is a terrible idea, I'm more than happy, or comment and support and tell me why it's a great idea. But either way, I think it's really important that it to acknowledge at least that we would have way more interesting content that's not just people bringing over TikToks and bringing over content from other platforms where you do get paid to do content. We'd have unique, original LinkedIn content if there was AdSense and if there were people being paid to be influential by their views. That's just my opinion, but I think that's the big system LinkedIn needs if you want to make substantial changes on the platform.
Could there be? Yeah. I mean, with that, where do you think though would be the sensible starting point for those? I mean, for me, the sensible starting point would be maybe to monetize things like bring over podcasts or bring over audio events or whatever, and then LinkedIn monetize those if people are turning up for them.
I would just say to LinkedIn, if LinkedIn somehow, by some miracle of nature, if someone from LinkedIn is watching,
Hi, hi, Dave.
and yeah, hi Dave from LinkedIn, and you're thinking about, oh, how could we implement this? First step I would do is pay loads of people from YouTube and loads of people from TikTok. You'd have to have a LinkedIn studio as well, but I would pay them to come and create some content just on LinkedIn and just play around with it. I would take maybe 20 great creators from, they don't have to be massive creators, but 20 talented up and coming creators on YouTube and possibly 40 up and coming creators on TikTok. I'd bring them over. I'd pay them to, for a month, just have them on salary creating content on the platform. And at the same time, I'd roll out ads on the platform as well. And then by the end of that month, hopefully they'd have enough followings and views if you boosted them up in the algorithm to make sure you can fund them with AdSense.
Yeah, of course you can pay for ads on LinkedIn already, so that bit's there. But it's so hidden. I don't think a lot of people necessarily understand that. You know, how many? When was the last time you saw an ad? I saw one yesterday on LinkedIn. I saw a LinkedIn
an ad every day on LinkedIn because most of people's content is adverts. I mean,
absolutely, that's where it is. Anyway, it's been lovely.
It's an element, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. It's been lovely having you all here. Just want to remind you. Oh, we just gained another person coming in now. If you've just come in, hello. Do say hello. You've just
come in. You've just missed an epic rant about LinkedIn's content and what they need to do to get the next generation of LinkedIn content. So jump back a bit and watch that. I don't know if can they do that on a live?
Yeah, they can just press the rewind button.
Just YouTube rewind it and
rewind because LinkedIn says
10 minutes ago.
Selector. We will be back, just for all of those that missed that earlier as well. We will be back not at our usual time of 11 a.m. next Friday, but we will be back at 3 p.m. Just to give maybe a slightly different audience an opportunity to see us as well. It's primarily because I'm going to be out for the rest of the day. But
make sure next week you come visit one of our profiles at 11. I'll be taking over Graham's profile and posting a bit of content that he doesn't know about, and that could be literally anything. I haven't arranged this with him beforehand, so I will have to steal his password somehow, but I'm sure I'll manage it. This will be fine. It'll be fine, I promise.
Maybe not. And until then, have a good week, have a good weekend, and look after yourselves, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye for now.